let's talk two kind of dumpster fires going on right now. The Jets getting blown out by the Cardinals and the Eagles blowing out the Cowboys. Who I think I asked you this before, but who's in a worse spot right now, the Jets or the Cowboys?
The Cowboys, 100%. It's the Cowboys. I said this last time. We've had this conversation. It hasn't changed for me. It is still the Cowboys, and the number one reason, Jerry Jones, buddy. I thought you were gonna finish my sentence. You didn't. It's Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones continues to prove that it's all about him. It's his ego. It's what he wants. It's the reason that Mike McCarthy is still there. It's the reason that didn't make a move at running back because he was like, oh, we feel really good about Ezekiel Elliott. He said that this week. We feel really good about Ezekiel Elliott. And we're not living in the past. We feel good about Ezekiel Elliott today. What are we talking about, bro? Like, he is not. This is the worst running back group. It is one of the worst wide receiving groups, minus CeeDee Lamb. And at quarterback,
one of the worst quarterback groups.
Yeah, you have a quarterback group that just isn't up to par. You put in this brand new stadium and you're blinding CeeDee Lamb and other receivers when you get into the red zone.
Did you see what Jerry Jones said when they asked him if he would put up blinds?
No, what did he say?
He was like, well, I guess we're just going to tear down the whole stadium. Since I built this new stadium, we're just going to tear down the whole stadium since it doesn't work. Bro, go to fucking IKEA, get some blinds.
Tint the windows. What are we doing?
What are you doing? And
it could be easily fixed.
They asked Micah Parsons too how he feels about Mike McCarthy not having a contract for next year, and he said he's more concerned about guys like Zach Martin who put in more work than Mike McCarthy ever did. So then, oh, and then Jerry Jones is saying that the team actually played better without Dak. So there's so much going on in Dallas where if I'm Micah, I want to get the fuck out of there. Someone else pay me.
But also, Micah just needs to shut the fuck up at certain points. Like, not everyone needs to like say you as a professional. You don't need to say everything that's on your mind, Micah. Calm down. Just eat it. You don't have to say what you think of Mike McCarthy and put him down and elevate guys like Zach Martin. We understand how hard Zach Martin works, but you just put a target on Mike McCarthy's back, whether you wanted to or not. And I know he went on his podcast afterwards and like, that's not even what I meant. And I just wanted to highlight like all these things of how these guys feel about my brothers.
Yeah, but if you respected Mike McCarthy, that would have never came out in that way or even came up.
100%. So it was
same with Jerry Jones with Dak. Like, he wouldn't be really comparing or being like, oh, well, we're not worried that we don't have Dak because we're good with this guy, if he really thought that Dak was good enough to win games for them.
Yeah, and I mean, again, it's Jerry Jones' fault that they got in that Dak situation, because if Dak had moved on in free agencies, they would just still owe a ton of money on their cap towards Dak Prescott, who'd be playing for another team. So you had to sign him. So it's all just stupid decisions that stroke an old man's ego.
Dallas feels like when you go hang out with like someone else's friend group and it's like they all kind of don't like each other and you feel like really uncomfortable. And you're just like, well, I'm here for the next 3 hours and I got to deal with it. Like, that's kind of how it feels like this locker room in Dallas is right now.
No, I'll tell you what it is. Do you remember the movie Project X?
Yeah.
It's fun. Everything's going really well. Like, oh, this is awesome. That was the Cowboys a couple years ago. And then like halfway through the movie, it gets to the point where they've stayed at the party way too long. And you look around and people are way too fucked up. People are destroying things. The house is a mess. Everything's going wrong. That's 100% what the Cowboys have stayed at the party way too long. They should have got out of there.
Jerry Jones, man. Jerry Jones stayed at the party way too long.